trying this game out provided it works. And if it doesn't, you know what free-to-play slop I'm going to if this shit don't work. Anyway, open back up my tab, please. Thank you. Expedition 33's story is absorbing, but don't miss its challenging endgame. This article contains spoilers. Ooh. Oh, it doesn't spoil the main story. That's what I give more fucks about. I'm not gonna read this whole article. I'm gonna more so like read the headlines, and if it's interesting, I might skim through those paragraphs. If you're a fan of the JRPG grind, you'll be in perfect territory here. Already lost me, but I'll keep reading. High level challenge is very much a philosophy by which many of the in-game activities live by. I don't give a fuck. I'm putting this shit on story difficulty if there's an option. And if that isn't an option, in my off time when I get tired of Marvel fucking rivals, guess what game I'm gonna be grinding? That. I don't want to get spoiled too hard for nothing, so I'm gonna keep the article off. I didn't think it would be like spoilers. I thought it would just be giving general ideas and talking points about it, but it says spoilers, so I don't want to take a chance on it. But Nier creator Yoko Taro fears that game developers may be treated like bars due to AI's used in video game development. Now, I saw a bunch of people on the socials, left and right, going, oh my god, this nigga is stupid. But I haven't seen his actual statement. So, now that I got it pulled up, let's read. And an interview with Famitsu, damn. In the discussion, oh yeah, being that this is an interview with Famitsu, take it with a grain of salt, because there have been instances where Famitsu mistranslated things, because from my understanding, it's pretty hard to translate Japanese to English because of like linguistic nuances and all that crazy stuff. So there has been incidents where mistranslations and misrepresentations of speaker's intent have been done with them. It's not often, but it's happened more than once. So I'll say take this statement with a grain of salt. Big U said there's a lot of new games I want to create, but with AI technology evolving at such a high speed, I fear that there's a possibility that AI generated adventure games will become mainstream. I'll put it like this. People said at the turn of the millennium century, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that Y2K would take out all computers. Another thing that I want to add is like people in the 2010s, like throughout the entire 2010s, I rarely knew anybody who thought buying a vinyl would ever be a thing again, whoever thought buying a CD would ever be a thing again. Now more than ever, people are crying, scratching, and scraping and paying out the ass to get things in physical media formats because of these companies trying to take every goddamn thing we own and make it so that we can buy it, that will own nothing and be happy. And a lot of people are like, nah, I'm not going for that. So I think there will always be a place in the market for it. Yes. Like when it gets to a point to where it's not like that Minecraft AI preview where you place a block down, you 360 and now you're in a volcano when you just put a sand block down on a beach. Like once it gets out of that stage and it gets to a stage where they can actually make games with it, full-blown games, and they're not going off of footage, they start going off of actual training it based off of actual game code to where it can actually generate full-length good games, then yeah, it's gonna be dominant in the market, but it's not gonna take over. Like I said, right now, I've seen it more and more in like the last couple years, but more people are buying vinyls, more people are buying CDs, more people, instead of buying their game digitally, are buying their disc. Now, does that mean everybody or the overwhelming majority? Hell to the fuck no. Oh wait, let me fix these while I'm talking. Does that mean all or every? Hell to the fuck no. But it is a non-significant amount to where it's like, you know what, it's noticeable that the format isn't straight up dead. Like all these artists that are releasing music now are still continuously releasing it on cassette, on vinyl, on CD, DVD, so whatever the fuck it's called. So I don't think that it will become mainstream and overtake the creative type games, but I overtake to the point of killing it, I should say, main type games. Because I'm not gonna lie, think of this from a corporation perspective, and we're already seeing this partially. Which one do you think they rather do? They rather press the space bar, type a couple words, hit enter, and get a whole new game they can sell as slot for $80? You think they'd rather do that or spend 2-3 years and $5-10 million creating a game? I don't even have to finish that shit. You know the answer. Following this, Yoko Taro echoed these fears. I too believe that game creators may lose their jobs because of AI. They're already. Not may, they already are. I've already seen stuff, and we've been over it on stream, where studios have been like, hey, we using AI so much that we don't need to hire any new people. Matter of fact, AI is doing your job, and your job. So let's just fire all 3 of you motherfuckers and buy a Chat GPT subscription, and you do all 3 of their jobs with Chat GPT. I mean, people called them niggas 10 and 15 years ago when niggas said the robots will be taking your jobs. Niggas got called crazy. I guess some niggas ain't crazy now, huh? There's a chance that in 50 years, game creators will be treated like bards. Yoko Taro would later state, I think that in the future, we will move from an era where we have to imitate the style of our favorite creators to an era where we can have our favorite scenarios generated. Yup, just like that, instantly, in 1 second. And the thing about it is, people want convenience at all costs. So the average person who wants convenience, they don't give a fuck what they gotta go through to get that convenience as long as they get it. So people definitely will feed into this shit, like I said, once it becomes good. Because that Minecraft AI shit, like the average nigga that plays Minecraft is not gonna play that shit. Or anything made by that shit. And they can't, because it's way too expensive and experimental right now. But that's the thing about experimental technologies. Why they experimented? So they could come up with a good product. Imitate the style of our favorite creators to an era where we can both blah, 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 blah. AI will determine the preferences of users. Yeah, because it'll push them towards whatever shit is easiest to monetize. Because you know, look at all these free-to-play games. No, they want to squeeze as much money out of you as fast as they can. So whatever they think can be the next NBA 2K, where they just got you squeezing by the balls all day and night, just twisting, just twisting your nuts all day and night, squeezing as much money as they can out your pockets. That's what they're going to design their games to do, because that's the type of games they will fund if they had to fund them. And being that AI is going to be way cheaper than buying a whole development studio or creating a whole development studio, or just being a gamer and hoping you wait till one day get lucky that you'll get a game about your favorite thing or involving your favorite thing. AI will determine the preferences of users and skillfully is crazy. Generate route branchings that they would want to read, and recommendation capabilities with growth to continue to improve. All of these creatives are known for narrative-rich games, and as such, it's clearly why they and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if you're a creative person, you would worry about AI for the simple fact is like, yo, not only do you gotta think about it as AI is attempting to take my job, I think you more so gotta think of it as like, yo, technology, you will never beat the race of time, right? You will never beat the race of technology. So the best thing you could do is figure out how to use this shit to your advantage as best as possible. Make your shit as valuable as possible when this shit does take over. Because otherwise, nigga, you're cooked. Don't fight the future. Don't fight the future, guys. The future will always win, always has. This one I wanted to read about, not so much because I give a fuck about Baldur's Gate, but because I want to understand why. Because the thing about Larian, and I also put From Software in the category, they're two game studios that make games that I physically couldn't give less fucks about, but on a business level, I respect their businesses and I respect the way the studio treats their fan base. Because like, because I've always been a person like, hey, you don't have to dick ride your fans. Like, I'm not saying you gotta pretend the customer is always right, but at least respect your customer. Larian has always did that. They've always been very respectful of their customers and their business practice. But at the same time, they have also made money. They put out a good product, they promote it, and it went off. That's all you gotta do. Now, it sounds simple, but it really isn't. But let's read about this. where is it? It's not something that should be taken for granted. And in a new interview with GameSpot, blah 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 blah. It's boring. Laughs. What the fuck is this nigga's name? What is this nigga's actual name? Critical Swin. So we gonna call this nigga Swin because I don't know how to fuck to pronounce that. It's boring. Laughs. Swin is really the honest answer. We tried to be in the DLC business. Talked about that with Baldur's Gate 3. There's just no passion. They said, hey guys, the higher ups are saying we should create DLC, and you know, monetarily it would be smart to create DLC because this was one of the biggest games the year it came out. Should we? Do we want to create a DLC? Everybody was like, I don't want to create a DLC. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. And the lead dev said, you know what? You're right. We ain't got to do it then. Because there's a lot of other studios. Call of Duty and NBA 2K. Has something in my chest. Like Call of Duty and NBA 2K. That would be greedy and try and push the issue and force something in a place where it shouldn't be because they know there's a chance people will pay for it. Like, instead of trying to take advantage of your fan base, respect your fan base and they'll respect you even more. I know people who buy 2 and 3 copies of Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is the type game niggas is offered to buy that game for me. It's just one of those type games. Now, of course I said no because I know I'm not gonna like that turn-based shit, but still. We tried to be in the DLC business. Talked about that with Baldur's Gate 3. There's just no passion. I mean, happy player, happy business. It's almost like the people who play your games are people, and they're not asking for you to get on your knees and suck my dick. We're just asking for basic respect. But also, you need a happy developer for a happy player. Damn! He said if you don't abuse your developer, they're more likely to put together a product that people would actually want to buy, which is what you want to happen because you like money. He said you get more bang for your buck when you hire employees and keep them in an environment where they actually want to make games. I felt that. What we're doing now makes developers way more happy. Swin is here talking about Larian's crazy ambitious next project. So they said we made Baldur's Gate 3, we made it good, and we're moving on to the next game. One thing I've always said about game studios is that sometimes there doesn't need to be a sequel. Now, sometimes a sequel or prequel or a spin-off could be interesting. But every once in a while, you know, just leave it. Leave it alone. Not everything needs to be a franchise. Not everything needs to have 6 or 7 games. I like it. I love to see it. They're moving on to something else. Make something else good. People want to see new IPs. People accept sequels. They don't want sequels. And I think a lot of these studios just look at sales and they confuse what a nigga will buy with what a nigga wants. Because see, brother, you're wilding right now. Hey, wilding right now. But damn, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, what somebody will want to see is different from what somebody wants. Because like, how do I put this? Okay, boom. If I accept the sequel from you, that means I'll get it, and if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. That breaks trust. You know what happens when a customer loses trust? They don't want to come back. So you might make a sequel that goes, then you make a 3rd game. That's just, then you make a 4th game. By the 4th game, I don't trust you because the first game was great, and you don't ruin the legacy with 3 games. So not everything needs a 3, 4, and 5. Listen to your developers. And this is part of what I always say when I say like the gaming business is very hard to do, very hard to deal with, for the simple fact you gotta realize that it's a creative medium. Sometimes people just don't want to create. Sometimes like you need to create a game by tomorrow or your rent don't get paid, and you just create some bullshit. You know somebody gonna buy it and you just need to pay your rent real quick. That don't mean you made something that people like. That don't mean you made something that people are gonna come back for. Just made something just to make something. Happens sometimes, and those are the things that, like I said, can make a studio go broke, go bankrupt. We heard it's what we were supposed to do, you know. Huge game, huge hit, and you're gonna make DLC, and the DLC, that DLC there, DLC, blah 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 blah. The money's gonna pile up. You think, yeah, we'll just make some DLCs. But then the moment we had some time to think, you realize, what are we doing? Yeah, and then the game Baldur's Gate is like 70 fucking hours. Then that shit branches off and had so many updates, and then on top of that, mods. Like, nigga, you could easily get 1,000 hours out of this single player turn-based game. I don't think there's anything left for you niggas to do. I'm gonna be real. Unless you're making Baldur's Gate 4, which you need to give some time, because 3 is so fucking big, people still haven't had time to fully enjoy it. So until you get ready to do Baldur's Gate 4, if you ever want to do Baldur's Gate 4, we don't need no add-ons for this game. This game is big as fuck. What are you even going to do in this game? There's people who can do 4 and 5 runs of Baldur's Gate, watch a YouTuber play Baldur's Gate, and say, what the fuck, I never got that interaction. So this is a game that definitely doesn't have content you'll run out of time to enjoy for the next 10 years. There's still stuff, and Grand Theft Auto is way smaller than Baldur's Gate, and there's stuff in the 10 years since Grand Theft Auto, no, 10 plus years since Grand Theft Auto. What the fuck? There's stuff that 10 plus years after Grand Theft Auto has released that I've just seen that was in the base game back in 2013. So it's like, these games have a lot to chew on. Go make something else. Baldur's Gate fans have a lot to eat. You don't have to DLC saturate if you don't want to, and it's good that they're saying we don't want to, so we're not. Progressive insight is not a bad thing, exactly. As long as you don't get delusional, but it doesn't matter if you're conservative or progressive. Nigga, delusion is delusion. So sometimes you go down the wrong path and then say, fuck it, let's change course. Pardon my French. Nobody gives a fuck. Hey, look. I would never in my fucking life buy or play Baldur's Gate. Well, I've tried to play it, and that's how I know it wasn't for me. But I would never in my life solo play or consciously make the decision to buy Baldur's Gate, even if that shit was available for 66 cents. Because I don't give a fuck. But I respect the fuck out of this. I respect it. Let's hit the clap it up button one more time. Now this one I more so want to know what's going on, because it fucking Brokeysoft. They released a good game with Assassin's Creed Shadow. I give that to them. I seen it and it looked like I predicted more Assassin's Creed, but that more Assassin's Creed is what people, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they love. So hats off to Ubisoft. They succeeded with this one. Now you gotta do it again. And again. Armed and dangerous. Again. You gotta do it over and over. And that's the thing about being a business. You brought yourself some time. But what are you gonna do with that time? Well, earlier this month, an Australian data protection agency filed complaints about Ubisoft, accusing it of collecting player data. Oh, I thought somebody was stealing from Ubisoft. Ubisoft was the one taking data? Hold on. Wait, Ubisoft accusing it of collecting player data despite having no it was somebody else. Alright, I was about to say, what type of timing is Ubisoft on? Wait. I pressed it twice by mistake. 5 complaints against no valid legal basis for doing it per the comp. Just about a week later, Ubisoft has officially acknowledged the complaint and states that it is committed to protecting players' personal data. We are aware of the complaint and are looking into it, a Ubisoft state. I want to know what the fuck exactly was the complaint. Okay, Ubisoft player said it's looking into recent claims of secret data collection from players within single-player games. Earlier this month, an Australian data protection agency, against Ubisoft. Okay, I'm not bugging. They saying Ubisoft stealing niggas' data, and Ubisoft is saying, you know, the typical shit that a company would say. We're not stealing data. Steal data. Why the fuck would I ever do that? Guys, back me up on this. Why would we ever steal data? Right? That's basically what I think they're probably doing right now. Let's read through the bullshit though. We are aware, blah, 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 blah. Ubisoft is committed, blah, blah, blah. That's what they're supposed to say. For games that support offline modes, an internet connection is required only at the initial launch to validate the purchase, DRM, stupid ass shit, and link the game to the player's account. And players retain control over their personal data through our dedicated privacy center. We are continuously working to ensure transparent, blah, 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 blah. The agency, known as NYOB, none of your business, states, what? I think that's supposed to be states that the community forcing players to connect to the internet, even for games that don't have online features, allows Ubisoft to collect people's gaming behavior. Okay, I see what this is. So from the outside looking in, what this looks like is a case of old farts that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, making conspiracy theories. Yeah, they're spying on me. They're looking at me through my webcam. It's like, my nigga, what do you have in your webcam that's important enough to look at? Like, that's like a metaphor for this situation as well. What do you have through your webcam for you to look at? Like, what the fuck data? Like, I could be ignorant on this one, but what the fuck data are they taking from a nigga playing Call of Duty and then booting up in Ghost Recon Wildlands? But I don't think that's single player, but still, you get my point. Like, what the fuck is the point? They continued, even after the complaint explicitly asked why he is forced to be online, Ubisoft failed to disclose why this is going on. Well, the main reason I can give you that I know they're going to give you, which they kind of already gave, is discs can hold a certain amount of information, right? Now, this is crazy. Crazy. Hold on. Nope, press the wrong folder. Now, discs can hold a certain amount of information. Now, this is crazy. I don't tell nobody I've been told you this. Close the window over here. Actually, I was doing all that. Listen. I gotta get real close to the mic. I gotta whisper this. Sometimes the size of the game is too large for the amount of data a disc can handle. So for example, a Blu-ray disc can hold 100 gigabytes. Sometimes these games are 150, 200 gigabytes. So they put the important base files that tell the system, yes, we have this game. Download the rest of it. And the internet does its magic and downloads the rest of it. Okay? Just in case you're a little bit slow and you don't know how video games work. So unless there's something I'm missing out on, this shit sounds stupid. How the fuck? This one I want to skim over because I want to know, how does Sony want to help me fix my posture? Because if my posture is fucked up, what is Sony, the PlayStation Corporation, gonna do to make sure my back isn't crinkled and I'm giving myself scoliosis? A new Sony patent aims to track gamer posture to avoid health issues from poor positioning. There's already chairs that do that, and that's already a feature on Twitch where some streamers will have exclamation point posture check, but whenever they're slouching or whatever. Yo, who the fuck? Why? Yo, who the fuck has been sending me messages? Because while I've been talking for this past hour, my phone has been doing like 10 times. Okay, cool. No. Not related to streaming, but I got some good fucking news. Anyways, a new Sony patent aims to track gamer posture to avoid health issues from poor positioning. Recent patents from the company prioritize improving user experiences and making gaming healthier. Translation: we know that a lot more people are becoming hardcore gamers. Let's capitalize off of it. Sony's posture check feedback system monitors changes in posture during gameplay. Wait. Yeah, sit right there. Sit right there. Sir, sit. Pinky puppy. Anyway. Let me see what the let me see if there's a concept of okay, there is. I want to see what this looks like exactly. Okay, so there. That looks like a regular fucking chair. I don't see anything special about that. These look like pictures of a regular fucking chair. Yeah, like bro, unless I'm mixing something, you know, I'm not an engineer or nothing like that. But that looks like a regular fucking chair, brother. Just sit back in your chair, bro. New space, this one I'll read on my own time. Because it's about Space Marines and I know y'all kind of don't give a fuck about Space Marines. On to Clear Obscure 33. So some of y'all are going to have to wait for me to set everything up. Just give me a moment, guys. I forgot to even put the shit on my desktop.